Welcome students. Let's continue with the chemical properties of group 16 elements. In the previous class, we have studied about the different atomic and physical properties of the group 16 elements. We have compared it with the group 15 elements and seen what are the different trends which has been followed out there according to that of the group 15 elements and that of the group 16 elements there. What were the difference between their atomic and physical properties there. Okay. Now moving further, and in this part we are going to discuss about the chemical properties of the group 16. So moving further, and the first topic here which we are going to discuss today is the reactivity of group 16 elements with hydrogen. Reactivity with hydrogen. It means that we are going to see the formation of hydrides, and the hydrides which are found out here with the group 16 elements. What are they having the different physical for what are the chemical properties of that particular compounds which are formed out with hydrogen for the group 16 elements. So here we will see that the general formula for the formation of group 16 elements hydrides are H2E, where E can be oxygen, sulfur, selenium, tellurium and polonium. So generally the compounds which are formed here are H2O, H2S, H2Se, H2Te and H2PO. The uh, hydrides of sulfur, selenium and tellurium are generally prepared out by the action of metal sulfides, okay, acids on metal sulfides or selenides or tellurides. For example, for preparation of H2S, ferrous sulfide, okay, ferrous sulfide is treated with acid. So there the hydronium ion produced from the acid, they will react with the ferrous sulfide here to form Fe2 plus, and H2S gas will be released out here. Ferrous ion will be produced out with H2S gas, okay, will be released out there. H2S gas is released out there and water is been formed out. And this particular process is taken place in Kip's apparatus. Kip's apparatus. In that particular Kip apparatus, what we do, we generally put this ferrous sulfide. This ferrous sulfide is formed in the form is presently we are using this ferrous sulfide in the forms of tablets. Okay, small tablets they are. We take these tablets into Kip's apparatus. The Kip's apparatus is something looking like, I am showing you a picture for Kip's apparatus. So this is the Kip's apparatus. Okay, this is the Kip's apparatus. You can see this apparatus in our laboratory also. When we will be doing the practicals, this Kip's apparatus will be used out there. Okay, so here this particular from this particular funnel-like structure, it can be easily picked up from here. Okay, so here we will add some of the ferrous sulfate tablets. Okay, in this particular chamber we will add some ferrous sulfate tablets, and then slowly we will add H2SO4, dilute H2SO4 here. Okay, so that dilute H2SO4 will get mixed up here in this particular chamber. Okay, with dilute HCO4 they will mix up in this particular chamber here, and they will complete out this particular reaction where H2S gas will be released out here. Okay, H2S gas will be released out here, and hence we will produce hydrogen sulfide gas. Okay, so this particular apparatus is termed as Kip's apparatus, and it has a very important role in some of the experiments which we are going to conduct in this particular year for your class 12. Okay, they have very important role for this particular session or the experiments which are to be conducted in our class 12. Okay, next is the structure of this particular hydrides. Okay, the structure of the particular hydrides which are formed here. Okay, H2O, H2S, H2Se, H2Te and all this, what kind of structure they are having. So due to presence of lone pair of electrons. Okay, in case of H2O, in case of H2O, oxygen is having two lone pair of electrons, And according to VSEPR, due to presence of lone pair and bond pair here, they will have repulsion between them. And due to this reason, they will form a bent-like structure, V-shaped structure will be there. And the angle between the hydrogen bonds here, it is generally 104.5 degree. Okay, so this is the bent structure for water. But as we go down in the group, the distance between the lone pair of electron and the bond pair of electron decreases out. Okay, it decreases out, and hence the angle there also decreases out. Okay, and we will see that as we are sorry, the repulsion will increase there, and due to this reason the space between the bond pair and the lone pair will decrease out here. And due to this reason we will see that the H2O is having an angle of 104.5 degree, while the H2S will be having an angle of 92.1 degree only, while the H2SE hydrogen selenide will be having only 91 degree. H2TE hydrogen telenide, it will be having only 90 degree angle. Okay, so as we are moving down in the group, we will see that the structure of the atom here, it will be decreasing, or the angle will be decreasing out there. Okay, what is the reason behind this? The reason behind it is that the force of repulsion between the bonded pair of the electrons of H2O is more than that of the H2S. And due to this reason, the force of repulsion between the bonded pairs of electron decreases. Okay, as we are going down in the group, we will see that the force of repulsion is decreasing. Repulsion between bond pair and lone pair is decreasing there. Okay, and due to this reason, what will happen? We will see that there will be decrease in the angle there. Okay, there will be decrease in the angle there. So the angle will decrease as we are going down in the group, and the hydride formation, the hydrides which are formed here, they will be having lower angle, which are present in lower in the group. Due to this reason, what will be the trends in there? What will be the different trends in their characteristics? So first, trends in their characteristics. So first trend in their characteristic is that they are volatile. Okay, so what is the trend in the characteristics of their volatility? So hydrides, the all group 16 hydrides are volatile. Okay, hydrides are volatile of group 16 elements. The volatility will increase. From hydrogen, okay, from water to that of H2S, and then it will gradually decrease out there. We will see that it is gradually decreasing out there. So how we can represent the volatility here? By the boiling point temperature here. Okay, by the boiling point temperature. So the boiling point temperature here can be observed that the for water, the boiling point temperature is 100 degrees Celsius or 373 Kelvin. While for hydrogen sulfide it is very low, that is 213 Kelvin only. For hydrogen selenide it is 232 Kelvin. Again you can see that it is increasing, and for hydrogen telluride it is 269 Kelvin. But as comparison to that of water, we will see that the volatility is still very high as comparison to that of the water in case of telluride, telenide and selenide here. Okay, so the trend will be found out like this. H2O will be having lower volatility as comparison to that of H2S, but the H2SE and H2TE, they will be having higher volatility, lower volatility as comparison to that of the hydrogen sulfide. Means they will be lower volatile as comparison to that of the hydrogen sulfide, and hydrogen sulfide will be the most volatile compound, hydride compound of the group 16 element. What is the reason behind this? The reason behind is that the low boiling point and therefore low volatility of water is due to the association of H2O molecules through hydrogen bond. We know that the H2O which are present, okay, the structure is like this. So here they are forming hydrogen bond between them. And due to this reason, what happens? Due to the presence of hydrogen bond here, the volatility of water, the volatility of hydrogen increases. Okay, the sorry, decreases. The volatility of hydrogen water is decreasing out there due to presence of this hydrogen bond, while this hydrogen bond lacks in case of sulfide, hydrogen sulfide. We will see that it is lacking in case of hydrogen sulfide. Okay, and hence they are more volatile there, they are more volatile. And the van der Waals force also between the molecules of that of between the molecules of the hydrogen is also greater as comparison to that of the hydrogen sulfide and hydrogen selenide, and due to this reason they are more volatile as comparison to that of the water. Next is the acidic character. The acidic character. So the hydrides of this group are weakly acidic. The hydrides of group 16 are weakly acidic. Group 16 elements are weakly acidic. They are weak acids. The reason here is that the increasing acidic strength of the hydride is evident from their dissociation constant. Okay, here we will see that if I am taking H2S, so one H plus ion will be produced out here, but it is a reversible reaction, and the HS minus which is formed out here, it will also release the H plus ion there. Okay, and the trend for the reactivity series here, it will be the acidic will be, the water will be the least acidic, while the hydrogen telluride will be the highly acidic nature. Okay, it will be highly acidic in nature. And the reason is that the dissociation constant value, the value of the dissociation constant. In case of water, the dissociation constant value is only 1.0 into 10 to the power minus 14, but in case of hydrogen sulfide it is 1.3 into 10 to the power minus 7, which is very much higher than that of the water, and 1.3 into 10 to the power minus 4, which is also very much higher that of the hydrogen sulfide, while in case of hydrogen telluride it is only 2.3 into 10 to the power minus 2. The reason here is that on going down in the group the acidity is increasing. The reason is that the distance between the central and the hydrogen atom increases there. Okay, it will increase as we are going down in the group due to the increase in the size of the central atom, that is the telluride, that is selenide, that is sulfur, that is oxygen. So in case of oxygen it is very near, the hydrogen bond is very small, while in case of sulfur it is greater than that of the H2O, while in case of selenide it is greater than that of the hydrogen sulfide, while in case of telluride it is very much greater than that of the selenide, sulfide and oxygen. Okay, and due to this reason what will happen, the acidic character, the removal of hydrogen atom from this particular compound will become easy, and hence the telluride will be having more acidic character as comparison to that of the all other elements which are forming hydride in the group number 16. Next is the thermal stability. The thermal stability. Thermal stability. So the thermal stability also decreases as we go down in the group. As we are moving down in the group, we will see that the thermal stability of the hydrides of group 16 elements, it will be decreasing out there. The thermal stability will decrease out there, and water will be most thermal stable as comparison to that of the hydrogen sulfide, hydrogen selenide and hydrogen telluride. On going down in the group, as we have discussed before also, the ongoing down in the group, what will happen here, the size of the central atom will increase out here, and due to this reason the bond length between the central atom and the hydrogen will increase, and due to this reason it will become more easier in the hydrides which are present in the lower in the group, for the elements in the group 16, it will be more easier to remove the hydrogen or to break the bond between the central atom and the hydrogen here with a very low amount of heat also. Okay, and hence we will see that the thermal stability will decrease as we are going down in the group. The hydrogen will be highly thermal stable, while the hydrogen telluride will be the least thermally stable. Next is the reducing character. Reducing character. So the reducing character depends on the acidic nature. Okay, it will depend directly on the acidic nature, and as we know that on moving up in the group the acidic nature decreases. So moving up in the group, the reducing nature also decreases off. Water is having the least reducing nature. Then hydrogen sulfide is having more reducing nature than that of the water. Hydrogen selenide will be having the intermediate, that is the second number um, um, reducing nature, while the hydrogen telluride will be having the highly reducing nature. It will be having the highly reducing nature there. Okay, and the reason here is that due to the presence of due to the decrease in the thermal stability, we will see that the instability of the hydride increases, and the greater the reducing nature will be produced out. Okay. Next, some of important more hydrides can be formed by group 16 elements, and out of that we are going to discuss some. The first are the H2S2, that is hydrogen disulfide. Hydrogen disulfide. The structure of hydrogen disulfide is like this. Next is the H2S3, that is hydrogen trisulfide. Hydrogen trisulfide. Structure of hydrogen trisulfide is something like this. Next, H2S5. Hydrogen pentasulfide. Hydrogen pentasulfide. 5 sulfur atoms connected with each other forming a per sulfur bond, and 2 hydrogen atoms connecting with this 5 sulfur atoms are forming this hydrogen pentasulfide. Okay. Next, let's talk about the reactivity of group 16 elements with the oxygen. Reactivity with oxygen. It means that we are going to see the formation of oxides. Formation of oxides, and discuss. We will discuss about the different trends when the oxides are formed from the group 16 elements. So here the oxides which can be formed by the group 16 elements with sulfur, selenium, tellurium, and polonium. Okay, they are. If we will talk about monooxides, then sulfur oxide, SO, sulfur monoxide, tellurium monoxide, and polonium monoxide is possible, while selenium monoxide is not possible. Dioxides. So dioxides, SO2 gas is possible, Se3O, SeO2, TeO2, and PoO2 is possible. Trioxides, SO3, SeO3, TeO3 is possible, while polonium trioxide is not possible. Okay, heptoxides, heptoxides, H2O7 is possible, and all other elements does not form any heptoxides. Also, other oxides. So sulfur is having different properties that it can form various kinds of oxides. Okay, and why they are forming oxides? What is the reason? They are reacting with the elements which are present in their group only. The reason is that they are having lower electronegativity as comparison to that of the oxygen. Oxygen is present in the highest position in the group. It is first in the group, and due to this reason it is having more electronegativity. And as we are going down in the group, we will see that sulfur, selenium, tellurium, and polonium, they are more electronegative as comparison to that of the oxygen, and due to this reason they are readily behaving as a electropositive element when reacting with oxygen here, and they are forming oxides. Okay, so these are some of the oxides which are formed by the group 16 elements. Let's move further and talk about the reactivity of group 16 elements with the halogens. Reactivity with halogens means formation of halides. Formation of halides. So generally they form which kind of halides? Let's talk about this. So first, oxygen, sulfur, selenium, tellurium, polonium. Okay, so they can form monohalides. Monohalides. O2F2 can be formed out there. S2F2, S2Cl2, S2Br2. Okay, these are possible monohalides which are formed. SeCl2, Se2Cl2, Se2Br2. They can be also formed, but tellurium and polonium does not form any monohalides. Next is the dihalides. Dihalides. OF2, Cl2O, Br2O. These are possible halides which can be formed. SF2, SCl2, dihalides of sulfur. Okay, selenium does not form any dihalides, while tellurium can form dihalides, and polonium also can form dihalides. PoCl2, PoBr2. Next, tetrahalides. Tetrahalides. Oxygen does not form any tetrahalides. Sulfur can form tetrahalides with fluorine and chlorine. Selenium also can form tetrahalides with fluorine, chlorine, and bromine. Tellurium also forms tetrahalides with fluorine, chlorine, bromine, Cl4, bromine, and iodine also. Tetraiodide also can be found. While in case of polonium, only chloride, bromide, and iodide is possible. Fluoride is not possible in case of polonium. And the last is the hexahalides. Hexahalides. So oxygen does not form hexahalides, but sulfur can form SCF6. Only hexafluoride is possible. SeF6, TeF6, and last is your polonium. PoF6 is possible. Sorry, polonium for hexafluoride is also not possible. Only SeF6, SF6, sulfur hexafluoride, selenium hexafluoride, and tellurium hexafluoride is possible. Now let's talk about the structure, some of the specific properties of this kind of halide. So S2Cl2, the monohalides, they are generally having the structure like this. Here the bond angle between the sulfur and chlorine, it is 104 degree, and the bond length for the sulfur per sulfur bond is 205 picometer, while in case of chlorine and sulfur bond it is 199 picometer. Okay, the structure of dihalides for SeSCl2. So it will be sulfur with two lone pairs and two chlorine atoms, and the angle between the chlorine atoms here is 103 degree. Okay, next is the structure for tetrahalides. So tetrahalides are having bipyramidal structure. Okay, they are possessing bipyramidal structure. Here one fluorine, another fluorine, and two fluorines are present with triangular shape with the lone pair here. Okay, in the plane, in a single plane. So they are forming the tetragonal bipyramidal structure. While in case of penthalides, okay, pentahalides, sulfur is only forming the pentahalides, that is S2F10. They are the pentahalides. We have not discussed this in the general table, but the pentahalides is only formed with sulfur, and they are also present in the polymeric form. Okay, they are also present in the polymeric form, and they are having the structure that is octahedral. They are having octahedral structure like this. Okay, they are having octahedral structure like this. The plane in which sulfur atom is joined with four sulfur fluorine atom, It is having a square structure, and one fluorine will present at 90 degree with the sulfur and other will be below at the 90 degree with sulfur layer. So it is octahedral structure. Okay. So sorry, this is not for S2F10. Okay, this is for SF6. Sorry, this is for SF6, the hexahalides. Sorry. This is for hexahalides, that is SF6. But for S2F10, S2F10, I am drawing the structure here. It will be something like this: F F F F per sulfur bond. Again S F F F F. One fluorine will be connected here with this sulfur and one fluorine here. So here you can see that total 10 fluorines are connected with two sulfur atoms here. So these are the pentafluorides, okay, pentahalides, which are formed by the sulfur only. No other atoms in the group 16 will form this kind of halides here. So for today's particular topic, we have discussed about the chemical trends or the chemical properties for the group 16 elements, and the different trends for the acidic nature, their reducing nature, and all these things we have discussed out here. The different types of halides, oxides, and also reaction with hydrides also we have discussed out here. In the next section, we are going to discuss about the different compounds which are formed by the group 16 elements, and what are their importance, what are their preparation methods, and what are their uses, what are their applications also, we are going to discuss in the next session. So till then, thank you. We will meet up in the next session.